Good morning. Thanks for joining me on the live this morning. I have Legend here. He's pretty green, and we're going to talk about building the foundation for a young horse. If you have any questions, put it in the comments, and we'll talk about it. Melinda wasn't able to be here today, so I have Ada helping me with the camera and the computer. So we're going to do our best to make it all work, but this is kind of our first time doing this, so please bear with us. Really pretty weather today. I think our high is supposed to be like upper 70s, close to 80. It was in the 50s this morning. I'm already warm. So really pretty. We have the county is working just on the other side of my arena out there, changing the culvert out, all kinds of equipment going. So if you see him kind of looking over there towards the road, that's what's going on. A lot of noise, a lot of tractors, but we're going to still ride. Like I've said before, if you only ride on good days, you'll never have a good horse. So we're going to ride and work through. This is Legend, as I said. And I did a live with him before, maybe 2 weeks ago, don't remember. And I did groundwork. He had come in. The owner had put some rods on him. And he came in, and I felt like there was a few holes in his groundwork that I wanted to back up and cover. And did that, and I covered that, and he really progressed really quick after that. And now we're working on doing some things, advancing him on forward. He seemed like a really nice horse, really nice, really good mind. The cows are in right there. It doesn't seem particularly bothered about them. I'm not sure if he saw cows at his home where he came from or not. But either way, he's gonna learn to see them. Any comments so far? That we got anybody watching? No, okay. So, like I've said before, mounting block issues are riding issues. And he hasn't been standing real great at the mounting block, but I'm not dwelling on it really hard because he's not real confident being ridden. As he gets confident being ridden, then his mounting block issues will get better. So I'm going to spin on, see him going to back up already. And I'm going to pet on him a little bit, let him know it's okay. I want to build his confidence. When I get on in a few minutes, you'll see he's going to mouth a bit. He's going to act just a little bit nervous. Nothing terrible bad. He just needs his confidence built. And this foundation that I'm working on, big part of that is confidence. A big part of that is showing the judge, assuming he may go into judge defense later, that's what we're hoping for, showing the judge a nice, willing horse. And to do that, we've got to build his confidence. He's got to be okay with what we do. And like just a little thing about stepping back at the mounting block, we build his confidence. That's going to quit. And along with gaining that confidence under saddle, then other confidence is going to keep coming. Just lots of up and down, getting him comfortable. I'm going to put a little weight in the stirrup. And he's riding fine. It's not like a young horse that you're just stepping on for the first time. He rides fine. But this is the part of that foundation that we have to get him comfortable. Felt him shift his weight back just a little bit as soon as I put my foot up there. We want him to be comfortable with everything that goes on. That was nice and relaxed. He stood. Now I'm going to walk my circles. I didn't ask him to walk off, but I'm not going to pull back with both reins. I'm not going to pull him to a stop because that walking off is still part of that nervousness of being ridden. As he gets more comfortable, with what goes on up here, that's just going to go away. So we're just going to walk our circles. I've been paying a lot of attention to how he mouths the bit. Now he stopped. We're just going to stay in here a second. In the beginning, he was mouthing the bit a good bit. Nothing to do with a bit issue, mouth issue, anything like that. It was just nervousness. That was kind of how he displayed his nervousness. Now, as I'm walking around, I have contact with my calves. I'm not squeezing hard, but I do have a little bit of contact. See how he's kind of pulling on my hands? That's part of what needs to get better. Any questions I need or comments I need to address so far? Speak up a little bit more. I can't hear you. Okay. Okay, so Angela has a 9-year-old mare that will back away from the mounting block, and Angela interpreted that as the mare testing her. And could it be her testing her, or could it be Angela's lack of confidence? She's a timid rider. So this is all going to go back to being a timid rider, because it is still a riding issue, but because you're a timid rider, you're not being the leader that your horse needs you to be under saddle. So as you work on improving your riding so that you're not a timid rider anymore, that gets better, the mounting block issues are going to get better. Most mounting block issues, even when they are the horse challenging you, it stems from something like that under saddle. Like all the horses here, once they get kind of in the routine and are riding good, I never have mounting block issues. I almost never work on mounting block issues. Once in a while, a horse will come in, like the video I posted I reposted of Bug from when she was a baby. She was giving me mounting block issues, but the mounting block issues stemmed from a behavioral issue, her not wanting to be told what to do. So that is probably the next most common reason for a mounting block issue. Now let's walk a couple of right circles. So work on you not being as timid of a rider, and that mounting block issue will go away. Cows are right there. A couple of calves I got, and not concerned about them at all. You see, when I swapped directions, he started mouthing a little bit of calf on him, a little bit of my leg, try to get him going forward. See how he's kind of wallowing a little bit? We need a little bit more forward. And I can get him to go forward. I could go on and bump him forward. I could make forward happen, but I want forward to happen with a good expression. Him comfortable with the bit, him not mouthing the bit excessively, him showing a good expression. Now we'll ask forward again. Forward, there we go. Making everything smooth right there. He kind of put his head down, pulling on my hand a little bit. When they do that, I'm just going to kind of bump with my calf just a little bit, ask him to go forward. Forward right there. He stopped us forward, pulling on the bit. That's just a little bit of not knowing, a little bit of uncomfortable. Bump up my calves, go forward. And I can trot him around, steer all over, stop. All those buttons are there. His owner did a really nice job getting all that started. So all that's there. It's not like he doesn't know how. It's all there. I just want him to get more comfortable giving all of it to me, so that when he shows, he's going to have a better expression. He's going to have a good expression. All that with expression starts now. I get horses in and hear about horses that are 5, 6, 7 years old and still mouthing the bit. opening their mouth and not showing a good expression on their face, on their body. That all stems back to this phase right here, not letting the horse get comfortable. Any other questions or comments I need to respond to? Okay. Right there, he's kind of wanting to go off to the right. Let's turn left a little bit. So it's kind of a balance right here as far as how much contact I put on his mouth. I'm going to start moving his shoulders a little bit off of my legs. See, now right there, I'm just setting my hands, asking him to go forward. He pulls on my right hand more than he pulls on the left. You'll probably see, I think he mouths the bit a little bit more when I'm going right than he does when I'm going left. Let's go back to the left a little bit, and then we'll go right again. And now we're going to go right again. So as he kind of stops, pushes on my hands, and I'm asking him to move forward, bumping with my leg right here. If he pulls with on my right hand, I'm going to kind of bump with my right calf, asking him to go forward. In the process of doing that, I'm asking for forward. I'm at right there. He kind of stuck. I'm going to ask with my right calf. His right front leg kind of stuck. His back end traveled around. So I just held my hand. With my right leg, I asked him to go forward. Right there, I'm asking him to go forward again with my right leg. Just little taps, nothing big. Let's go to the left, and I'm going to start moving the shoulders off of my left leg. Again, he's done all this before. It's just a matter of giving him a chance to get comfortable. So a little bit of left leg. See, now I'm pushing with my spur, and you see how he started pushing with my hands. Let's go back forward again. And there, I got a little bit of movement. You notice how as I put a little bit more pressure on him, he started mouthing the bit, started showing that he was worried. When he pushes on my hands and mouths on the bit, I'm just going to set my hands, and I'll be using my legs to move his shoulders. That's going to give him confidence in my hands. And then that's also going to start the process. Just trying to go to the camera. Let's go away. I know we're getting too close. It's going to start the process of rounding his back and collecting and everything else that everything's going to build from. A little bit of left rein, left leg again. And release. Shoulders went over a little bit. You saw him mouth right as I made the contact. And actually, when his shoulders went over, he quit mouthing the bit and he relaxed. As right now, when as a green horse, all this is happening and you really don't understand it. And that's why it's really important to start teaching something. Start saying, hey, I put pressure with my left leg. You get off, I'm going to release the pressure. That's going to click in his brain, and he's going to start understanding those cues, understanding what's happening, and that's going to help build his confidence. You can't just walk around and steer around. You have to do that to a point, but you also have to say, hey, let's do this thing. His right rein, right leg there. Little step and I'll release. Do this thing so you can start teaching them, hey, you do this thing, and I'm going to get soft. That's going to build their confidence in my hands. It's going to build their confidence in my legs. Again, right leg. Nice. That was about 2 steps over. I start this leg yield thing immediately. Just as soon as I get on a young horse's back. There we go. That one was nice. Let's go the other direction. A little bit of left rein, left leg. Bring the shoulders over. Good. Both legs forward. And all these are just touches with my leg, touches with my spur. touches with my hand. None of it is very big. My hands stay right here in the box in front of the saddle horn. Left leg, there we go. Now I'm gonna put a little right rein, right leg here because he keeps wanting to go to the camera. There, nice turn. That right there is what's gonna build a lot of things. It's gonna build the neck rein. It's going to build bending for a new lead, for lead changes. Because right now I'm in the left bend, right rein, right leg. Gives me right bend. That's my counter bend exercise starting. Again, right rein, right leg, brought his shoulders over. You see we're getting a little bit smaller. We're getting smaller because he's getting off right rein, getting off right leg. Nice one there. Now, as far as when I work left, when I work right, when I circle left, when I circle right, it all depends on the horse. I'm going to do what I feel like that horse needs at that time. I made a couple circles. He kept wanting to go to the camera. So that was a good time to work on right, ask him to step away from the camera with my right hand, right leg. Any other comments I need to answer? Questions? Okay. Hi, Melinda's watching? Okay. Change back directions again to the right. Since he seems more comfortable left than he is right, I want to keep changing to the right to keep working right. Now right there, his shoulders went off to the left. Let's add left rein, left leg. Good. Another left rein, left leg. Good. And if you notice, like when I'm using my left rein, left leg, I'm opening my right leg just a little bit, not a lot. Then I'm just kind of opening this hand just a little bit, give him a place to go. Another thing too, if you're working with this with your horse, it really helps if you can time the push with that leg, with your leg, at the same time that their leg is coming up off the ground. I picked my hand up and asked for the stop. He kind of pushed, so I just set my hands until he softened. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. So if I'm pushing with my right leg to push the shoulders over this way, if I time that push when this leg's coming up off the ground, I'm going to get a better reaction. I'm going to get a better answer. Because if I'm saying move this way and his weight is on this leg, he really can't move that way. So he's going to have a little bit of confusion there because I'm asking him to go that way. He can't go that way. If I set him up for success so that I'm asking him to go that way as his foot's coming up so he can, that's going to get the point across to him a lot quicker. Question?
Sebastian is asking, do you think the foundation that you need to lay changes in any way depending on discipline? And do you think people sometimes leave gaps because they don't see things as important or want discipline?
Really good question, Sebastian. He's asking, does the foundation change depending on the discipline, and do people leave gaps because of the discipline they're in? I do not think the foundation should change. It don't matter what you do with the horse, foundation should always be there. One of the gaps that I see a lot with the English horses that come in, I don't feel like I have as good a control of the outside shoulders as I should. In English and dressage, your outside rein is your supporting rein to support that outside shoulder. They don't want you to be neck reining over, and I think because of that concern about not wanting to neck rein, they don't really refine that outside rein as good as they should. One of the things about the Western horses that I get in, they're not as soft through their body as I feel like they should be. It's like some things are there. A lot of the Western horses, they're steered down here too much, so they put weight on their inside shoulder. So that's something from each that seems to be kind of per discipline. The foundation doesn't matter. You've seen me do this with several horses. This potentially is a reining horse, a cow horse. I have Moxie. He's actually out in the pasture right now. I have Moxie, he's a dressage horse. Whatever I come in, the foundation is exactly the same. I do the same body control, the same movements, because to me, if I can position the horse's body wherever I want to position it, the horse can go any direction it needs to go in, whatever direction the owner wants to take it to. So let's talk a little bit about that, what he's doing. When I pick up my hands to ask him to stop, he's pushing forward on the bit, pulling on my hands. What I've noticed with him, there's a couple different ways you can work this. If I just set my hands, he starts backing up. And I really can't drive him forward very good because he just starts backing up. He has a good backup. So what I have to do, instead of setting my hands and driving him on the bit, which I don't think is really the best way to do it anyways, I want to stop him in an arc. So I'm walking a left circle, left arc. Remember, inside rein controls the bend, outside rein is your brake. Always outside rein is connected to your inside hind leg. So what I'm going to do, I use my outside rein, I just close my fingers to ask for the stop. Now in the process, you saw he still pushed, but he didn't have the leverage to push as hard. And this rein right here really kept him from pushing as hard as he was when he was straight. So let's do that again. And this, let's go forward. And the other thing that this does is that really helps break the shoulders in the face. No, go forward, go forward, go forward. I'm bumping with my legs, keeping the arc. Go forward. Now I'm going to ask for the stop. He's still kind of fussed, but it wasn't as drastic. He didn't put it all the way down because the arc took his leverage away, setting the maneuver up for success. Another question?
Yeah. Robin is asking, do you have any books or information on starting a 2-year-old who loves the way you work with horses?
Okay, Robin, I don't have any books on starting a 2-year-old. I've got some playlists on YouTube about showing my process of starting a 2-year-old, and I have some collections of videos on Patreon about training. I do have my book that just actually came out this past weekend on Amazon. It's called Beyond the Saddle: How Horses Affect the Way We Live, Love, and Lead. It's more about the relationship and the kind of the character building qualities between the rider and the horse, and the character building qualities that the horse will teach you if you listen. I talk about specific horses that I've had in training. If you've watched me for a while, many of these horses you've probably seen me ride, and talks about different things that they did and different character traits that they taught me. So now right then we were a little straighter, but my left hand stayed still and I closed my right fingers. I'm thinking about writing a second book. We'll see. This one just released last weekend, and seeing how sales is doing. Actually pretty decent. If you'd like an autographed copy, message me and you can send it to me and I'll autograph it and send it back. If anybody's watching that has my book and has read it or started reading it, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. It's way different than anything that I've put out before. Now let's get his feet moving again. I wasn't sure about the start time, and we might have some people that, oh, let's walk. I know you're pooping, we're going to walk anyways. Our time changed here this past weekend, this last Saturday night. So now we're back to standard time. So depending on where time or when time changed where you are, that might have kind of messed up the viewing time. I know that was a question Sebastian had because he's in England and I think their time changed before ours did. So now right here, I'm walking forward. He kind of pulled on my hands just a little bit. I gave him a little touch with both spurs right there, a little touch with both spurs. By doing that, we've already started establishing moving his body off of my leg, moving the left shoulders to the right off my left leg, shoulders to the left off my right leg. So he has started picking his back up. When he goes to push on my hands, when we're going forward, you'll see he starts to lose his momentum. I'm going to give him a little squeeze with both legs. That's going to squeeze him back forward, which is the beginning of collection. My hands just set still, squeeze. So almost like a half halt, rebalance the horse, because when he's pushing on my hands, he's on his front end right there. Squeeze him back forward again. Beginning of a half halt, beginning of collection, foundation of everything that goes forward. I feel like way too many people skip all this. They want to trot, they want to lope, they want to do bigger and better things, bigger things. This is boring, but this is really where you set that foundation of a nice horse. I have trotted him, I have loped him. It's all there, but it's not there pretty and nice. This is where that pretty and nice comes in. I didn't stand a minute. See, now that was a nice stop. And basically, I just stopped riding there. He's starting to listen to my seat. Really nice. Because he's listening to my seat, he didn't pull on me as much. Another question?
Kathy said that she got your book. She'll be arriving today.
Okay, great, Kathy. Thanks for ordering.
And she's also asking, how do you teach them to stop? Which I know you kind of already went over.
Okay, how do I teach one to stop? So, a couple different ways for a couple different horses, couple different kind of types of horses. When I have one that's pushing on my hands like he is, I'm going to stop in a circle with the horse arced. So right here, right hand is controlling the bend, left hand is my brake. It's going to always be that way for the life of the horse. So I'm going to sit with my seat. Right there, he pulled on me pretty hard, so instead of accepting the stop, I'm going to send him back forward with my right leg, because that's where my arc is. Nope, back forward, back forward. Every time he pulls on me, I'm bumping with my leg. Forward, 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 forward. Forward with at least the inside leg, maybe both legs. That's sending them forward, getting them balanced off of their front end, because when they push their head forward like that, they're heavy on the front end, so that I can develop a better stop on the hind end. So I'm not going to stop him. Let's get a little further over this way where we got a little more room. You see we're going right. Right is his worst direction. Now I'm going to sit. And I just took my legs off, relaxed, and I really didn't even do much with my hands because he's listening to my seat. Now he's wanting to, I'm just going to set my hands here. He's going to start backing up. He usually does. And I'm going to use just enough leg to ask him to get off my hands. Good. I'm going to wallow around here a little bit. Just set my hands here so that he kind of quits pulling on my hands. Right now, he's kind of getting to where he's starting to just kind of pull, I feel like a little maliciously. So I'm just going to set my hands and let him realize that he don't have to pull. Now, important point here is I have him bent to the right just a little bit. I don't have him straight on. By doing that, that takes his leverage away. See, a little bit of right bend. That kind of takes his leverage away. And it gives me a tool to where when he starts to push, I can give a little tap with my right leg. This is one of the things that has to get better. In old style training, what they would do is they'd just take the reins and tie them back to the saddle or tie them back to the leg so the horse would quit pulling on the hands. And that's how it used to be done. And I know some people still do that. But the thing that doesn't teach is it doesn't teach the horse to lift his back to get off of the bit. It just teaches to get off the bit. And I think by tying the head back, you're missing a training opportunity. You can get the head soft and broke, but if you're not training the rest of the body, you're missing a training opportunity. So you can look at all this with his head, about his head and pulling, and think, oh, that's really bad. That's something we got to fix. But it's just a training opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to work the back, because when they're pushing with their head, I'm going to work their back. Another question?
Colleen is asking, is the pulling all of him understanding, not understanding, or is it just him not wanting to do what you're asking?
Okay, Colleen's asking, is the pulling him not understanding or not wanting to? With him, it's not understanding. He hasn't done anything to tell me that he doesn't want to do anything. His is just not understanding. It's a little bit of, I'm asking him to do something that he don't really understand, he don't really know. And most of you know that I don't ride in the same bit more than 3 rides in a row. He's in a snaffle bit here. I'll be riding him on a halter some too, to alternate between this and the halter, to work on that. So he's not just pulling on his mouth, hardening his mouth. Now right here, I'm gonna bend him to the left just a little bit, take his leverage away. And as he gets more comfortable with what I'm asking him to do, it's gonna go away. It's just gonna quit. So it's something that needs to be fixed, but like I said, it's an opportunity to work something else, because if he's not understanding, which is what I think is going on, what he's supposed to do with the bit in his mouth, he has a desire to want to figure it out. And most of the time when a horse is this way, like, I don't understand, and that contact gets in their head and it just kind of floods their brain and they can't think of anything else. When they do figure it out, they're like, never touch your hands again. So there's a little bit of frustrating there. Let's go back and walk some circles. This is the kind of horse that if you don't give him the chance to figure this out, you're going to end up with some issues years down the road that will never go away. It'll end up being a habit that you can't fix. Right now, it's just don't understand. But you saw right then when he started pawing that not understanding was becoming frustration, and we don't want it to be frustration. So we're going to ask him to move and break down what I'm asking of him into simpler pieces to take that frustration away. Let's keep going. Some breeds, some bloodlines tend to be more touchy with their face than others. Different reining bloodlines. Some of the gunners are funny about their face. Just certain ones are funny about their face, and you have to kind of adapt your training to them. And some of this I might be adapting. I might start adapting to him a little bit, but he has to kind of meet me in the middle a little bit too. Any other questions?
Kathy is asking, why do you switch bits after 3 rides, and which ones do you go through?
Okay, so Kathy is asking, why do I switch bits? So it's kind of like you switching shoes. It gives you a little bit different support. Switching bits, I'm operating a little bit different contact on the horse's mouth. You see him, if I ride him in this bit all the time, where the bit is contacting his mouth, the more he pulls, that's going to start callousing up, get a little bit harder. By switching up this and a halter, then I am keeping that pressure point on his mouth, on the corner of his mouth, on his gums, on his bars, soft and fresh while he's learning. And it's that way all the way through training. And even a fully trained horse, I don't ever ride them in the same bit more than 3 rides in a row to keep the mouth fresh, because I don't want any part of the mouth to start callousing, like the pads on your fingers. You get a little bit of callus, you don't have as good a feeling with the pad of your finger as you do if you come off of your pad and touch a little bit softer part. Well, the only difference is you always using that one contact with the pad of your finger. I don't want the bars of his mouth to become calloused like the pad of my finger. So I'm not going to start the backup, working the backup with him until I get the face better. When I work back up, I set my hands, squeeze with my legs until they back off and back up. That's how I teach the backup. Well, he's already pushing with my hands, and sometimes he'll push himself into a backup. And if I start working the backup now, I'm going to make this part harder to work on. That's the main, that kind of thing is why I've never written a book on starting a 2-year-old, because all young horses need to learn the same thing, but they're not necessarily going to learn the same thing in the same order. Every horse learns different things in a little bit different order because of just how the horse's brain works, how the body's put together. He's a little bit pushier on his face. I'm not going to back him up just yet, not until his face gets a little softer. Any other questions? What you got? I'll stop so you don't have to follow me with the camera.
A few questions. Mary is asking, when I set my hands for the backup, my horse resists and pushes against the bit. How would you fix it?
Okay, Mary. So she's saying when she sets her hands for the bit, for the backup, the horse pushes with her hands. And so you add more leg. Hold your hand still, add more leg. When the horse picks his back up, the horse is going to back up. Just set your hand still. I'm not going to do that with him, because if I start to see his eyes already wanting to back off the bit, that's going to create some issues with his face. So when you ask for the backup and the horse pushes against your hands, just hold your hand still and add more leg. If you're not riding with spurs, you might need to add a little bit of spur. It's the whole point is to lift the back up so that the horse sucks back. Another question? Okay, really good question, Sebastian. At what point do I draw the line between something that I adapt my training and something that the horse needs to just learn to accept? So what I do with whatever behavior that is, I kind of factor that into the direction the horse is going in, and how much, say, control of the face do I have to do the maneuvers that I'm going to do. There's a certain extent I need to be able to point the nose left and right, need to be able to break at the pole, bring the nose in a little bit. But a horse that's pickier about its face, I might not ask for as much as I would another horse. Bob is one, my Bob is one that he's just kind of hard on his mouth. He never did get really soft. So there's no point in trying to make him be softer. He's never going to be softer. I just had to work with what I had. So it's you kind of have to have an idea of what the full training looks like, where the horse is going, and can you get it done with just kind of adapting to the horse. So in that situation, you have to know where the horse is, where the horse is going, and all the steps to get there. I think my experience of training so many horses up to such a high level helps me a lot there. Any other questions? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Pam said that she's liking your book. She's never seen a book where each lesson is learned with a horse that was compared to our own life experience.
Okay, different lessons learned from each horse, to life experiences. Let's get your feet moving again. It's so in the book, I think you can go to Amazon and read little sections of it. So I'm talking about different character traits like leadership and trust and that kind of thing, and comparing that to that character trait and how a particular horse helped me learn better that character trait. So I think it's interesting. I think it really helps to uh, explain how I build a connection with these horses. I get a lot of horses in, and I've had the question before: do I miss them? Are they like your kids that leave, and they're more like I would expect that a teacher and a student would have, where different students will impact the teacher's life in school. And that's kind of what the horses have done to me. And in the book, I'm talking about how different horses have impacted my life. Keep going. Keep going. Any other questions that we need to address? He's getting bored. We're going to have to stop pretty quick. Or we're going to need to quit. Yes, Colleen is asking to clarify that the foundation is the same, whether it's a dressage horse or a barrel racer. That's true. It's exactly the same. You need the same body frame. If you're teaching a horse to round its body around the barrel and drive forward around the barrel in that rounded frame, or you have a dressage horse that you're teaching a canter pirouette, that's the same body frame. It's the same body control, the same body function. You're taking that frame, that movement, and doing something different with it, but it's the same thing. So it doesn't matter what you're going to do with your horse. You need the same foundation. And then as the training advances further, then the training is kind of going to change. That's like whether I'm teaching a reining spin or getting a canter pirouette started, the first steps are the same. You need the shoulder up, you need the horse spit, you need the horse driving from behind. But in a reining spin, I want that inside hind leg to be still. In a canter pirouette, you want the gait to keep moving forward. So the foundation starts the same, but as you get specific to the movement, the training changes. Foundation is always the same no matter what you're doing with your horse. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and quit with him. I'm gonna go ahead and step down. He's getting to the point where I've kept his attention about as long as I could, and if I keep kind of pushing on him, it's not gonna be good. So I'm gonna just loosen the saddle a little bit. This is a really nice horse, and he's sensitive but reasonable. He's sensitive from the standpoint of it doesn't take a lot. Like when I'm asking with my legs to move his body, it doesn't take a lot. He's sensitive, but he's reasonable. He doesn't overreact. He's a thinker. He thinks everything through. He has a good understanding of what's good, what's bad, and him mouthing the bit and pushing, that's just him not understanding. And that's just a matter of keep educating him so that he starts to understand what's happening there. That's part of the kind of sensitive part. That's kind of the negative part of the sensitive part, where the positive is moving off his body. Those kind of things I don't complain about. They're good to have, and that gives you an opportunity to train some really nice things. So I appreciate everybody for joining me in the live today. Again, this is Legend. Until next time, thank you for watching. Just click the end live button.